Hello everyone, so with the new Season 16 has come new buffs and new nerfs for lots of characters, and I just want to point out that most of the survivors got buffs and most of the hunters got nerfs. They nerfed Lucino and Mad Eyes. Why did they nerf Lucino and Mad Eyes? You're literally killing already bad hunters, but today I'm going to be talking about the Geisha buff and the Dream Witch nerf because I have 6 hunters. I have all the female hunters, which would be Dream Witch, Sculptor, Geisha, Disciple, Soul Weaver, and... no, I think that's it. This is embarrassing. I forgot I have Mary. Sorry, guys. So, out of all of them, I have been playing Geisha, Sculptor, and Dream Witch since Season 13, so although I don't play Geisha, she's not one of my mains. Got a lot of practice with her. I have more practice with Sculptor and Dream Witch, but I still have a lot of practice with Geisha because I've been playing her for so long, and she is one of my favorite characters to play. So, I'm so excited about her new buff because, she definitely deserved this buff. If you don't know what her buff is, it's that now while using Soul Departure, which is her second ability, when she goes up into the air, she can place butterflies up in there, and she can dash really far using that. So then her second buff is that she now, at full presence, she will place butterflies faster, dash faster, and use Soul Departure faster, which are all super helpful. So Geisha has gone through 2 buffs since I joined. The first one was the ability to place butterflies and dash them instead of just dashing to the survivors, which I personally think the placing butterflies and dashing to them buff was it was like a good way to buff her, and it kind of fit with her character more. The swallowtail, butterflies, dancing in misery fit more with her character. Her abilities to me seem based off like a spirit, because she can kind of go through walls, she can fly, she's incredibly fast, and the mask on her progenitor form is usually depicted in horror Japanese genres as evil spirits, I'm pretty sure. So I think that the swallowtail butterfly dancing in misery was a really good buff for her, and it really adds to her character as well. And I think this latest buff is even more helpful now. My only issue is that her hitbox is still broken. I'm going to say Dream Witch has a smaller hitbox than Geisha, but at least when I'm playing Dream Witch, I don't hit the walls every single time I'm trying to hit a survivor. Do you know how annoying it is to hit into the wall? And then sometimes when I shouldn't be able to hit something, I will hit it. That's the kind of hitbox Geisha has. When you want to hit something, you won't hit it, but when you're expecting to not hit something, you will hit it. But I'm really happy about this buff, and I think Geisha has a lot of potential as a hunter. You'll see in this game that I was able to pressure the ciphers by going back and forth with her dash and put myself in a win position, and that's the type of thing that you need to look for in a hunter. Hunters that have abilities of map pressure, and while her camp is pretty weak, she has a decently strong chase, in my opinion. If you're really good at her, I feel like you can have a good chase with her, but of course characters like Perfumer and Seer, Prospector, Enchantress, Wilding especially will counter her, and you won't be able to get quick downs on them, but if you find a decoder first, there's a good chance you can get them down pretty quickly. And if you continue to use your dash and your ability to travel quickly around the map for pressure, then you could probably put yourself in a win situation like I did in this game. And keep in mind, I am only Saber right now, but I was Manticore last season before the reset. So I might not know completely what I'm talking about because I'm not one of those meta pro players, but I think that Geisha is a really nice, fun hunter, and I'm glad that she's getting another buff because, like I said before, she totally deserves it. And this buff it's not substantial, but being able to place the butterflies when you're in progenitor form, Soul Departure, is so helpful. You can see this clip right here. I accidentally used Soul Departure when I was trying to break the box, and that's so embarrassing because this is rank 2, but it's okay, but because I was able to win this game anyways. And her Soul Departure has always been weak as a second ability, Sculptor's Farsight in comparison to Geisha's Soul Departure. Sculptor's hieroglyphic graveyard has always been so much more powerful because Sculptor can use her statues while she's in this mode, and she can stay on the ground. All you need to do is pull the thing back. You can use it on places that you aren't actually. But being able to dash farther is really helpful, like on bigger maps like Moonlit and Eversleeping, you could get really far with the ability to dash farther. I actually did a test. I went on Eversleeping, and with her second presence ability, like I said, you dash faster. So I had full presence, so I went to see how long it would take me to dash from one side of the exit gate on Eversleeping to the other exit gate, and it took about 20 seconds just using the regular dash. And when I used her Soul Departure as to get farther, it took about 23 seconds. So I'd say it's just faster to dash regularly, but Soul Departure, being able to place the butterflies, is going to be more helpful for camping. And you know, you can always use Soul Departure if you're not sure where Survivor is, like in a wide open area. Like, you know Survivor's hiding somewhere in a ruins area, but you don't know where. In this game, I didn't really use it that much, besides, like, I don't know, maybe when I was camping that one time, and when I accidentally used it. But the placing butterflies faster and the dashing faster is actually super helpful, because her dash is basically like blink if you can use it right. Oh, look, see right here? Basically just blinked on him. Didn't even have enough time to react. And going through the pallets is also super helpful, but that was already like a thing. They didn't really add that. That wasn't really new. And I feel like I'm going to be playing Geisha a lot more after this latest buff, because she's already a super fun hunter to play, in my opinion. Like, even if she's not meta and she's only C tier or whatever, I still think she's fun, and having fun is what really counts in a game. Like, this was a ranked game. Obviously, I'm risking something maybe by playing a low C tier hunter, but at the same time, I'm having fun, and that's what really counts. Like, Dream Witch is S tier, and I have fun playing her. Geisha is like, what, low tier, but I still have fun playing her, because to me, it's not about the tier, it's just about having fun, which is why I'm able to just play characters confidently, like Geisha in rank. After Dream Witch's Nerf, I didn't actually play her in rank because I just wanted to like get used to the feel of it. A buff is a lot easier to get used to than a nerf. Like Geisha's first buff, where she placed the butterflies, that one would be harder to get used to, but increased dash speed and the Soul Departure aren't that difficult to get used to. But as you can see, Seer is dead on chair, so I teleported over to the Cypher, and they popped it because they were so close, and I missed a hit. Like, if that was a Joseph, it would have hit. And people don't talk about the fact that the people always talk about Joseph has a bad hitbox. Joseph has a bad chase. I mean, not a bad hitbox. Joseph has a bad chase, but like, his hitbox gives him at least a better chase. If you had like a single Dream Witch follower without any other followers to help her, or without any traits, you had a single Joseph without any traits, then the Joseph would get kited less time, because you can't loop someone that's able to hit you easily when they walk across the pallet, when they walk around the pallet, that they're able to hit you easily when you vault to the other side. But Dream Witch, on the other hand, her hitbox is so small that if you vault to pallet, if you have knee-jerk reflex, she's not getting hit on you, you're getting out of there. Like, her hitbox is really tiny, it's non-existent. I mean, it's not bad. There's like, it's small, but it's not like actually awful, because at least you can still get hits. Like, you can still get hits, but like if someone is running to a pallet, it would be easier to hit them if you were like Wu Chang before they get to the pallet than if you were like Dream Witch, and you wouldn't be able to make the hit as Dream Witch because your hitbox isn't big enough. That's why so many Dream Witch mains like solely use... Oopsie, that was a broken Geisha hitbox moment. That's why so many Dream Witch mains like solely use charge attacks, but I don't really do that. But you should always use a charge attack if you're going to blink as Dream Witch though, because that's like really helpful. So, on to the Dream Witch game. This is Dream Witch with her Nerf. And funny, I spawned in the same location as last time, only it was memory, but I went to a different cipher. But I still found the Perfumer first again. Getting deja vu here. So, the Perfumer obviously didn't get the notification. If you're wondering what the notification looks like for this intro body, it's like one of the traits up in the top corner. You can see how I have tinnitus. It's like that, except for survivors, and it is a picture of Dream Witch. So, go ahead and hit the Perfumer for free presents, and I thought I could just like switch targets maybe after getting presents on her, but I was able to hit her through the pallet in this next coming part. But when I was playing against a Dream Witch earlier today, and it was Central Body was near me because I knew Central Body was near me because I had just gotten leeched, instead of having like the picture of Dream Witch in the trait, it just had a black box and 3 dots. So it was like loading, and that was a little inconvenient. So it might just because this is a new feature that they're still working it out. And I went to customs though with the Dream Witch, and the trait was appearing pretty clearly. So I'm not really sure if it's just because it was like a public match or something, but I'm sure it's gonna be reworked soon. I mean, this Dream Witch nerf really made me upset because of admitting her, like I said, since I joined, and I didn't want to have to get used to this. But I'm not sure, because I still have the map. You still have the map pressure, at least. It didn't get rid of the map pressure, but it does kind of ruin the element surprise, but not in the elements, not the element surprise of, oh, I can't get tear shocks anymore, because like at Manticore, you're not going to be getting a tear shock on someone. When you're tier 5, they know to look behind them while decoding. They're not dumb. But if you're if you're like a tier 1 or tier 2, maybe even tier 3 player, you might be getting those tear shocks, but this doesn't like ruin the element surprise of like tear shocks. It's basically like sometimes your follower will not be close to you at all, and you're giving the survivor like a 20-meter head second, a 20-meter head start, and you could try to place a leech by them, I guess, to give yourself a head start, but you could try to place the leech in the opposite direction of where they're running, because then it will go out of zone easier. And I mean, as long as you find them when spawn is like not close enough by Central Body, then there's a good chance that your follower will still be following you after you've leeched, and you can try to follow them in Central, because obviously the follower will be following, so in a regular game they would know. I'm having so many voice cracks. I literally, when I'm talking on like these narrations of the videos, I always forget to breathe, and it's so painful. Like, someone remind me to breathe. I need to take a moment to breathe right now. Don't be like me. Remember to breathe. I'm telling you, these voice cracks are not okay. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Because the follower will be following Central, so they know that your main body would be there anyways. So there's also the part of if you switch to abnormal and the survivors know you have abnormal and they're at the prime cipher and they get the notification that Central Body's by them, they're probably just going to pop it, no more abnormaling prime ciphers, which is going to make pressuring even harder because you won't have the ability to undo the prime cipher. And there's like no more trait spamming. If you use a trait in Central Body though, like Patroller, it wouldn't actually count towards the overall cooldown like it would for if you used it in the follower, but because Patroller already has its own little nerf where the Patroller is tired, so it will last less if you just spam it. It doesn't really matter. I start most of my games off with Blink, as you can see in this game. I didn't really switch this game because, I don't know, Blink has become easier for me to use than Patroller. Patroller just feels like I keep always forgetting to use it and stuff, and then I'll mess up or whatever. But here I blinked again to get the prospector down. This is only his second share, I believe. Yeah, it's only his second share. Blink has been really helpful for me, but the most important thing about Dream Witch is if you want to put yourself in a win position, you gotta multitask and you gotta pressure, because with this like latest nerf, you don't have the luxury of surprise, and it's kind of a nerf. These whole nerfs that she got are kind of just nerfs to her chase, so you need to really up your pressure game if you want a good chase, because I mean you really got to up your pressure game if you want a chance to win, because your chase isn't going to be as strong anymore. This game isn't a prime example, but because I was able to get some pretty quick downs, but it is a good example of kind of pressuring. And it's a great example of multitasking and rebounding from my mistakes, because I made a lot of mistakes this game, like chasing Perfumer first, and I did get her injured though, so I guess it wasn't that big of a mistake. But like here, switch follower, immediately switch back to the follower chasing him. Like, that's how you have to multitask and utilize playing Dream Witch. Like, remember, you're still playing the same hunter that can take survivors to chair and chase other survivors at the same time. Like, the nerf obviously did a lot. It feels like it did a lot, but I'm sure that we can get used to this over time. And I don't think this... People are saying she'd be like B tier. I don't think she would be B tier. Like, the central body, like, knowing where it is does a lot. It does do more than someone that doesn't play Dream Witch would understand, but like, if you still have your pressure, and I'm still good enough at pressuring, then you can still have a decent chance. But honestly, like, the nerf to her chase is kind of really unfortunate because, like, you need chase. It doesn't matter how good you're pressuring ciphers if you can't get a single down, then they're just going to work on other ciphers, and you won't have anyone out, and then the cipher will pop, and then they'll all escape. So, that's why I'm carrying Blink. Blink is just easier for me to use. So, this game was a win, and I don't know when I'll be playing her in rank next. I'll probably have to practice more in quick match to get used to it. I feel like this nerf, I feel like she was going to get a nerf, right? Because she's been S tier for so long. But I just feel like they went about nerfing her the wrong way. The traits, the stop spamming traits nerf, I completely understand that one because it might seem frustrating to just get double blinked on. But this 20 meters, like, central body nerf was kind of, like, stupid. I mean, at that point, they should have just made her visible when you're within 20 meters of her. I mean, the only good thing about her being invisible is that they don't know which direction Central is coming from, but that's where literally looking at the survivors comes in. I'm not happy with this nerf, but I don't think it's fair to call her B tier after this. I think she can still be at least A+ tier. Dream Witch mains, stay strong, I love you, and be hopeful because we are Dream Witch mains, we are strong, we are powerful, and we can pull through. Before the video ends, I'm going to go ahead and promote my Discord server. Link will be in the description. I'm going to start live streaming Identity V gameplay on there, so it'd be really fun if you joined.